Here. Just wanted to do a quick guide on my Greystone, how I build his deck, and kind of how I upgrade his moves or what order I upgrade them. I will do a gameplay, but I'm not going to add that in this video. I'll add an annotation that links to it though if you want to see actual gameplay with him. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it. I've already built the deck just to save time because I don't want this to be, a 20-minute guide of me building the deck. So I already built the deck, and as you can see, it's 52% attack, 44% defense, and 3% utility. I know some people build Greystone, somewhat get glass cannon. That doesn't really apply to him though as much because he kind of has defense built into him, at least physical defense. And he scales, he's a fighter, so he scales pretty good on defense. But still, a lot of people build on glass cannon. He has a lot of attack, a lot of attack speed, lifesteal, crit. I built mine a little bit differently, so let's go ahead and take a look at it. So I started out with the Centurion. That gives you 1,000 health and 100% bonus damage. 500 max health to the minions. I go over this because I'm all about the survivability. I do enough damage. I guess you consider it like a bruiser tank, but I think let's say bruiser tank just for the heck of it. So I like the health a little bit more just for survivability, especially with his passive where he comes back to life anyway. So I think they kind of go hand in hand. A lot of health, a lot of attack. Makes him a real pain, not just a thorn in a fight, but actually somebody that could put you down if you aren't careful. I have the harvester key in this build just in case I do need one, because when you're playing with a lot of newer people like what's going on right now, sometimes your junglers don't know they're junglers. Like a lot of times I have a Kalari that's trying to lane, so I'll slap on a harvester's key if I need to, and I'll play jungler. By no means am I the best jungler. Am I gonna do everything perfect in the jungle? But I know how to get harvesters, so if need be, I can play jungle. And Greystone does really well in the jungle actually. So because he is a fighter, most fighters do well in the jungle, so it just makes sense. I have a health potion, Scout's Ward, Strike Token. These are the 3 cards that I usually start out with if my jungler is competent, knows what he's doing. Usually I'll let one of the carries worry about the harvesters, and I focus on the wards and ganking, laning. But if need be, like I say, I will throw in the harvester key. So the reason I don't have a mana potion, Greystone doesn't take a lot of mana. He's actually really good on that, and his cooldowns are so long that really you're not going to be using a lot of his abilities. Plus his ability damage is really low anyway. I think it's like a 3. We'll take a look at that later in the video. But so I don't really worry about mana. I do focus on health though. Health is a big thing. I keep a ward. You can argue that you might want to throw a brawler's ward or a guardian's ward in your build. I don't do it because when you're running with pugs like I do, and just random people, unless you all have wards, it's not really effective. So I just keep a personal ward for myself and for whoever's laning with me. Try to put it in the most advantageous point. I recommend always keeping a ward with you, whether you do one of the shadow wards or just one of these scout wards. Keep a ward because you want that vision. Shout out to Baby Spine. I watched a lot of his channels and his builds, and he's kind of convinced me to put wards in all of my builds. So I'll link his channel in the description just because watching his gameplays and his builds have really helped me out a lot, so you might want to check him out as well. Now my next card here is the Strike Token. Since I don't use the mana potion, it gives me a little extra leeway, so I'll go with the Strike Token, get ahead a little bit on the physical damage. So if I do want to go gank, or somebody is foolish enough to try to trade with me, I have the Strike Token, so most likely I will kill them, especially if it's like a carry or another carry, because technically Greystone can be considered a carry. If you can take them out early, get them behind, that's always great. So let's get into the actual equipment. So I have 2 flash fire pistons. The first one has a vicious kinetics and 2 strikes. So we want that attack speed, we want that physical damage. That's what you're focused on with Greystone. A large part. Now the second one, and usually I use this one first, I just have them in a flipped order, but it's another flash fire piston, vicious kinetic, 2 major strikes. So like I say, that attack speed, that damage. Now here's the card that I usually equip before even the Flashfire Pistons. I do the Rust Breaker. Rust Breaker with the Minor Pierce and 2 major strikes. It already has 16 physical pen on it, so with the Minor Pierce, you'll be at your physical pen cap, or at least where you want to be to do that sweet spot of physical damage. So it also gives you a nice boost in physical damage. Start out with 13%, plus once you've maxed it out 6.5, the 2 major strikes. If you can get that on fairly early game, it gives you a nice lead, makes it easy to gain and clear your lane. So remember, I say Rust Breaker first, then the Flash Fire, then the second Flash Fire. So after that, I go with the Brand of the Iron Eater. Now this is for a little more survivability. Now you can change this up if you want. If you have a third drain, throw that on there. If you want to change it up with greater drains, feel free. I just do it because the way I have it set up now, it gets me at 60 points. And if I get another drain, I'll probably switch it. But so I go 2 drains and a wound. So that's 10 life steal, 6 crit. The card has 3 crit, 5 life steal, 2.5 once you max it out. So this helps with survivability. Get that life steal going. After I get my lifesteal card, I go with my offensive maneuvers. I know a lot of people don't like this card, but I actually love this card. You know, the crit is whatever, but the unique passive is what I get it for. And it gives you 44 physical armor, 44 energy armor against basic attacks. So I use this card in my build because it just gives them that more survivability, gives them a little bit of that energy armor. So yeah, and what I put on there is 3 wounds. So I get that crit going a little bit. And like I say, crit isn't a stat in game that is super critical anymore after that patch. But for Greystone, it seems to work pretty well. I don't go overboard on crit. I think at the end of my build, he has like 27% crit. Don't build him like 50% crit, 75% crit, because it's not really going to help your damage. It's actually going to probably end up having you doing less damage. So don't go overboard on crit. But I say 24, 27%, maybe 30, you know, but don't go overboard. So I stick at 27% crit. So once I have all my offensive cards going, I have my somewhat defensive / offensive card going, then I look at what the threats are on the enemy team. So at this point, if my team or my enemy team is mostly physical, I'll throw on the tempered plate, just to go a little overboard, because Greystone already has a lot of physical resistance. But let's say that they have a pretty good Sparrow or Great Twin Blast, or you know, their Fang Mao is building Glass Cannon, and you know, when Fang Mao builds like that, he can do some serious damage if you're not focusing him. Same for Grux. Grux, though, he falls off late game. I think Fang has a little more survivability in that sense. At least a good Fang. I guess a good Grux can as well, but that's neither here nor there. So I built this 22 physical armor, 100 health, plus once I max it, I get an extra 44 physical armor. I usually go greater health or divine health, and then I'll go with a guard, because I don't need to go overboard on the physical resistance. But for some reason, if you do, you can always put in that greater guard, and then throw a health in there. But I usually go with the health over the guards. So remember, so divine health, health, and guard, and that'll give you more than enough physical resistance. Now, Tomb Barrier. If they have a good Murdoch, their Gideons especially troublesome. I don't know. A good Grim, you don't run into those super often, but when a good Grim can really destroy a team, I'll go ahead and throw this on. Now this one I usually do throw the Greater Barrier on if an energy damage champion is giving me issues. And then I might throw on the barrier, or I might go with the health, but I definitely throw on the Greater Barrier so I get that energy armor up. And then it's up to you after that. If I think I need another barrier, I'll throw that on, then I'll throw on the health. If I don't, then I might throw on, like, you know, something else. But, so yeah. So that's how I build my Greystone. I still have 3 points left over, so I can still play around with the deck a little bit. So we'll see. I might add some stuff in there. So let's get out of here. And let's go to Heroes. And Greystone is at the top. Now let's go to his abilities. So he has Noble Strike, melee basic attack dealing 40 physical damage, Assault the Gate, leaps as far as 1,000 units, dealing 40 physical damage and a small AoE. Make Way, Greystone summon a fiery whirlwind that deals a total of 40 physical damage in the area around him over the course of 5 seconds. Stoic, he gains an additional 11 physical armor, which is why I say you don't really need to go overboard on the physical armor with him, plus 100 health. These amounts increase with each level. And Reforge. So basically when he dies, he comes back to life after 3 seconds with 50% mana, or 50% health, 100% mana. He crashes down in like this big AoE, and if he catches anybody in that, he does physical damage to him. The base is 200. So when I'm building my Greystone, as I'm leveling up, I usually, depending on the enemy team though, I may start off with Stoic, or I might start off with Assault the Gate. If I think that I might get like overrun or overpowered or something, or if the team looks like they're pre-made or something, or any reason why I might need an escape early, I go with Assault the Gates. If the team looks like a bunch of, I'm not going to say like scrubs, but they look like just some random people playing, I'll go with Stoic. Especially if I have like some physical people in my lane, I'll go ahead and go with Stoic to start off with. But those are the two I recommend. Either start out with Stoic or Assault the Gate for the escape, or for the engage, or the chase down, whatever you want to call it. Because you're going to be ganking early on Assault the Gates. That helps with your stickability for real. Noble Strike, you don't have to worry about leveling that up. Now they make it so that your auto attack levels up every time you level, so you're good on that. So level Stoic whenever you can. I think that is one of the most crucial abilities right there, because that health and that physical armor just make you very tanky, makes you just that much harder to kill. Reforge, just like with any hero, make sure whenever this is up, this takes priority. Go ahead and level up your Reforge. Get that up there, because you want that. Your Reforge is boss. So whenever that's available, go ahead and level that up. When that's not available, take your Stoic. And then you can alternate between Make Way and Assault the Gates. I would probably say go with Make Way, but it doesn't really matter. I just alternate between the two, really. So that's basically my tips for how to build your Twin Blast. Your Twin Blast, wow. How to build your Greystone. If you have any questions, please let me know down in the comments. If this helped you at all, drop a like, share it with your friends. If it didn't help you, comment on that, tell me why it didn't, leave a thumbs down if you want. But hopefully this helps some people. Like I said before, I'll be doing a live game commentary with Greystone. I usually do pretty good with them. I'll die once, maybe twice, but I usually get around 14-15 kills and do pretty good on towers and clearing minions and helping the team out. So yeah, we'll go into depth in that, or as deep as I can go. I'm only Silver League. I'm almost at Gold, so I'm not like a Diamond level player, so don't expect that. But I'll kind of show you how I play. And so yeah, I'll put an annotation at the end of this video here for you to subscribe, and a link to the live game commentary I'm going to do. So thank you for watching, people. Have a great day. Orseofkorse is out.